My name is McKenna. I am doing a lab assignment for Dr. Stephanie Hartz at Bryan College, and this lab is about biological beauty. Today, I am capturing the biological beauty of betta fish. It's still not working. There we go. I couldn't get the presentation to work a couple minutes ago. But there's just an example of the betta fish that I have because this is my personal pet. His name is Storm. He is a butterfly betta. I got him on August 14th, 2020. I got him from a Petco. I found out that his scientific name is Betta splendens. I couldn't find a scientific name for butterfly bettas specifically, but that was a scientific name I found for bettas in general. But that's what he used to look like. I named him Storm because his fins were white like clouds, and I liked his blue colors. They reminded me of rain. And I liked his features. Like I like how he had the black on his face, and he also had that little white stripe going down his tail, and he had some red pigments in his scales. He stood out to me in the pet store. My former roommate and I had a betta before Storm, and he did not live long, so we thought that we would give it a second shot and just change some things up and see if we can get him to live longer than 3 months. So Storm, he was in this bowl when we moved him. I got him a 3-gallon bowl. I filled it with water, and I filled it with all kinds of pretty decorations. And so I managed to get pictures of him here in the mirror in our dorm room. But I thought he was really enjoying it and swimming around. But shortly after, I noticed that he was looking very sick. So throughout the fall semester that we had him, his behavior was changing. I was changing his bowl every 3 weeks. But he was just not swimming a lot. He was hiding, and I knew they hid, but he just wasn't moving. He'd only come around to eat every now and then, but I was making sure that his water was correctly what's the word? I was using this bottle that was supposed to help make the water a stable environment, but I was tracking pH levels, and I was making sure the water was warm enough. But for some reason, it was looking like he was losing scales and that his fins were rotting. So when Christmas break came along, I went to a PetSmart and I talked to someone, and he managed to help me figure out what was going on. I think he did have fin rot, but he helped me change his tank environment, and I changed him to spring water. And there's my cat Peaches investigating why I had this creature in our home. But when I made all those changes with him, he started looking a lot better, and his scales started changing, which surprisingly means that he's happy and he's healthy. I noticed that he was swimming a lot more and that he was eating more, and he was still hiding, but he would come out and he would swim every now and then like he was supposed to. And this is what he looks like today. He still has his pretty blues. All his fins are not white anymore, and he grew more pink areas, and some white changed every now and then. But overall, I think he's a lot more happy, and I'm very pleased that I made the changes necessary to make him healthy. And it showed that he relies on me, and he taught me that having a pet fish isn't easy, but it's also not hard as long as you learn from your mistakes and you make the changes necessary to keep them alive. And that's why I'm going to associate that concept with this Bible verse that says, "And my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus," which is Philippians 4:19. Because even though Storm relies on me as his caretaker and his owner, I rely on God for my basic survival needs. And it just shows like I struggle to keep a little life like that alive, but somehow God manages to get me and all the other billions of humans on the earth alive. So it just shows like he's a lot more powerful than me. So one thing I wanted to show for fun was just this fun video. Let me see if I can find it. This is Storm when I brought him home this past spring. My fish met him again. They forgot about him, that he existed, but I thought it was kind of funny when I brought him out to have him be met by my kitties. So Boo the black one was very interested in him.
Oh, Kitty, that's me.
And yeah, she basically punched him, but he was fine. He just shook him a little bit. But I love Storm. I hope that he lives as long as he can. They only live for 3 years long. And when I got him, he wasn't necessarily a baby, but he might have been a juvenile. I do think he got a little bigger. And even though his fins suffered a little bit, I think they grew back a lot. But I want to see if he can make it at least one more year. And I haven't had any more problems with him other than maybe his swim bladder was starting to act up. So I put some medicine in his bowl and he perked up immediately and he hasn't been acting up since. So I really think that he's on the right track to be successful. And that is my only part of the presentation. Thank you, Dr. Hartz. I really hope that you enjoy that presentation.